How to edit your product on a white background with the use of your phone. Hi, my name is Simbi, also known as SimbiProps or SimbiHerself. I'm the first and the last person you need to learn about product photography. Yes, I said it. If you haven't done it yet, like I always say, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so you don't miss out on gems that I will be dropping or I drop every weekend. Yes, tap on the button that looks like this, just somewhere below on the screen. Okay, so let's dive into it. How to edit your product shot on a white background with your phone. First off, I'm going to take you through the process, of course, how we got to shoot the photo, and then we move on to editing. Like I said, I'm going to take you through the process of how I got started, how I chose my props, the ideas I got, the actions I took, the apps I used, etc. So first, what you need to do is identify your product, of course, what you intend to shoot in terms of color, shape, and size. That would somehow, some way give you an idea of the kind of props and background to use, most especially when it comes to colors. You do not want to have a green shirt and then you want to shoot it on a purple background or a color that's just conflicting and doesn't really vibe with the color of your product. So you have to identify your product, the color, the shape, and the size. And one important thing to also identify is the content of your product. That is, if you sell products like skincare, products that contain, that are packed in a container. I'm sure you get what I mean. For example, the face cleanser, some use cucumber to make face cleanser. That's somehow part of the ingredients of that product. So you need to identify the ingredients in your product as well, because that will give you ideas or kickstart your creative juice on the prop selection. The next thing you do, that is, if you do not have an idea on how to style this particular product that you have, what you do and what I always do when I'm blocked up here, what I always do is I go online and I search for relatable product pictures. Mostly I go on Pinterest. Let me give an example. I'm looking to shoot a body lotion, for example. And what I do is I go on Pinterest, I search for body lotion pictures. So I see something that I could connect with or something that I can easily recreate into my own kind of product picture. Now the trick here is, or the thing here is, when you search on Pinterest, the body lotion, you don't just search body lotion because you're going to get random images. You have to be very, very specific when you're searching on Pinterest. Specific, what do I mean? When you search on Pinterest, you just type in body lotion product photography, and then you get the best results that you can get. You're going to see loads of images that you can easily recreate. Now, I always tell my students, do not select pictures way past your power. What do I mean is, try to start small and start simple. There are loads of images uploaded on Pinterest, and when you see any shots that you would like to recreate, I would advise you start with the simple ones that you can easily find the props they use and the backgrounds they use. The next step you will do is to gather and source for your props and backdrops. Now, after you've gained inspiration from the shots you've found on Pinterest, of course, I'm using Pinterest as an example because that's where I find my images and get ideas from. Once you've saved the image that you would love to recreate, I believe that we all are creators in our own way. We just need the right kick, the right source of inspiration, and access to resources. Now in this case, once you've seen the photo that you need to recreate and you've identified the props that they used, you can easily go source for something similar. You don't have to use exactly the same props that they did use. I will put you through the process of how I shot this image. Like I found this image on Pinterest and mine came out different, but I drew inspiration from that shot. So source for your props, source for backdrops that you would love to use, and you begin to shoot. I don't know really. I'm not a fan of copying other people's work. That is why I use the word recreate in your own way. You find images on Pinterest that you love, and you would love to have something like that for your product. You love to shoot something like that. It is nice to save it. It is nice to recreate something out of it in your own style. But copying directly someone's work is unethical. Yes, so have some dignity and do not copy and paste. Now it's time for us to take the picture. We're using natural lights in this case. I mean, I'm literally going outside to take a picture of my shirt. I saw this image on Pinterest and I wanted to recreate it in my own way. So I took up my own shirt, my black shirt, and gathered some props, similar props as they used, my own shoes, my own jeans, and some leaves that I have. And I went outside at around 4 p.m. That's usually the best time to take shots outdoors because the sun is setting at that time where I live, of course, in Nigeria. That is the time the sun sets. It's around that time the sun sets. If you go to take your shots times before that, you could get good shots. And you're not guaranteed to get good shots, subtle shots. You may just get harsh images and it may just not look good. So I would always advise to go out in the evening time when it's not too dark and when it's not too bright or too sunny, of course, and take your shots. So I laid my backdrop. The backdrop I got it from Simbi Props on Instagram, and all of my props really, the props that I use, I always get them from Simbi Props on Instagram. So now back to our discussion. I laid my backdrop, laid the shirt, I started recreating, like arranging the products, the items the way I saw in this picture. But I did not exactly use the same thing that I used. I changed the leaves, of course. I did not have a plant. I changed it into something that I have, which is similar. My own shoes, the shirt, even the way the shirt is being placed, it's just, it changes. I changed it in my own way. I recreated something out of this image. So at the end of the day, I was able to take my own shots. I took the picture from above, as you can see on the screen. I had to climb up a chair so that I can have a fuller view of the background. And I shot it from above. And that's the result, unedited. Now it's time for us to go into the editing phase. P.S. If you like what you've been hearing so far and what you've been seeing, please give me a subscribe and a like. Alright, now heading to the edit phase. How we edit this image. Let me show you my final shot, my final edit, so you know the process. You'll be wowed at the results, but I'm going to take you through it. Now this is the picture unedited, yeah? And then I edited it into this. Super, 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 super. Alright. Don't get too excited. Let's just dive into it. So the apps that I use to edit are 2 apps. And it depends on my mood, really. It depends on my mood, really, which one I choose to edit. So Sometimes I edit with Snapseed App. Sometimes I edit with Adobe Lightroom. So for this image, I edited it with the Snapseed App. So I'm going to show you how I did that, how I fixed some wrongs in the photo, and yeah, you let me know your thoughts at the end of the video. Alright then, let me get my phone. This is the image that I love the most, and I will be using this one. So what we're going to do is to load it up on Snapseed. The Snapseed app is what we're going to be using to edit. Now, so let me go to my Snapseed app. This is what it looks like. The Snapseed app. So I open it up and I open it up and then I load in the image. So I tap on open image. I look for the picture, and this is it. So the thing with photo editing is, or the guide, or the first steps you take when editing photos is to first identify what is wrong with the image. What do you wish to fix in the image? And then fix that first. After that, you would then add some little touches just so you can improve on the looks, of course. Make it brighter, make the colors pop, etc. So in my own opinion, my background here is not white enough, and my black shirt is not new. Clearly, it's not new. It's used and it is looking faded. So I need to make it a little darker so it doesn't look like a used shirt, or it doesn't look faded. So those are the things I would like to fix, and let's dive into it. So to make the background whiter, I just go down here, I tap on tools, and then I tap on tune image here. If you swipe up and down, you're going to see so many features that you have access to. Now, the one that deals with the white background only is not brightness. Please don't play around with brightness because it will affect the entire photo. My photo, in my opinion, is quite bright. I don't want to make it brighter, so I just leave it at there. So what works, or what fixes whiteness on Snapseed is here, the highlights, this part, this function, the highlights. So I leave my blue line on the highlights, push my thumb or my finger towards the right. Can you notice the difference? The white part of my picture is becoming whiter. It's becoming whiter. So the level of whiteness that I like, I will just tend to stop. You can see how it is increasing at the top here. It shows that I have applied highlights to the level of 40. If I like it, I just stop there and tap on the check mark that is down here, somewhere down here. If I don't like it, I can increase it more further, or I could decrease it if it's just getting too much. But 40 is just fine, so I'm going to stay on 40, and I'll tap on the check mark that's here. Great. So if you press down on the image, it shows you your progress. Like if I press down on this, see the photo before I added the highlights, and this is it after. See how whiter the background is. Remember, we went to tools down here, and we went to tune image here, and then we scroll up to highlight and increased highlight. So that's what we did. Now I think the background is fixed. Now let's work on the shirt. The shirt is looking faded. It's not as the natural black color. It's just looking dull. So what I would do is I go on Tools and I go to the function called Selective. I tap on Selective here and then I tap on the shirt. I'm going to see a small blue circle there. So when it's a small blue circle. If I move my finger upwards and downwards, somewhere else, not on the blue circle, just somewhere else in the photo, I move it up and downwards, there are different functions. There's brightness, there's contrast, there's saturation, and there's structure. Now to fix the color of the shirt, it would be contrast. Contrast makes the darker parts of your subject darker and the whiter parts whiter. So it's actually the difference between the white and the dark parts of the subject that you're trying to fix. So I leave it in contrast. If I push it forward, you can see it's the opposite that it's doing. If I push it backwards, my shirt is becoming darker, meaning the dark colors of my shirt are becoming darker and the white part of my shirt is becoming whiter. Unfortunately, the shirt is just black. There's no white part, there's no brighter part, so it's just going to work with only the black. And yes, I can keep pushing it backwards. You can see the intensity of contrast that I'm adding here. It says -100. So I think that's pretty too much. So I'll just reduce it to, let's say, 75 is good. So that's that. You could see sometimes when you use the selective function on contrast, yeah, I can see that it's only this part of the shirt that is being affected. I want the upper part of the shirt to be affected as well because the lower part is quite darker than the upper part. So I will just tap on the check sign. I go to Tools again, then I go to Selective again, then I tap on that. I go up, push my finger upwards to Contrast, and I pull it backwards so that it is fixed. Remember, I said if you press down on the photo, you can see the before looks. You press out, you can see the after. Now we fixed the two major problems that we're having with this photo. The faded looks of the shirt and the color of the white background. We fixed that. So now it's time to just make the picture pop more. Maybe make it sharper and maybe make it have more colors. Maybe make the leaves greener, a little bit greener, and the jeans a little bit bluer, etc. So let's work with the colors and then let's work with the sharpness. I go to Tools, we're fixing the colors, we go to Tune Image, tap on Tune Image, push your fingers upwards to Saturation. Saturation fixes colors in pictures. It intensifies colors in pictures. So I leave my blue bar on saturation and I push my fingers sideways to increase the level of saturation. So I push it sideways, you can see the colors are coming out. The G is becoming bluer, the green is going greenish, etc. So I really will advise for you not to do it too much. Don't do it too much, just slightly. And I'll leave it at 13, it's on 13 here. So I tap on the check. So our colors are popping. Colors are popping. So now let's fix the sharpness of the image. I tap on Tools. I go to Details here. I tap on Details. And I push my finger upward and downward to see the features or the options available on the details. Then I go to Sharpening. Sharpening is just a word, it's literal. Sharpening. And I push my fingers sideways to increase the sharpness of the image. Just look at that. Everything is now sharper and crisp and precise. You can feel the details of the image. And there we have it. I don't want to do it too much. I just leave it on 24. One, that is the level of sharpness that I like. If you do not like that, you can push forward, but please, when you edit, don't try to push up the level of whatever feature you're using to really extreme number. So my sharpening is under 41 and it's good. So I tap on the check mark and we are done with this editing. Like, look at how quick that was, and straight to the point. So I press down on the photo. You can see the before. Look at how this photo is looking like. And then I release my fingers. You can see the after. Amazing, right? Amazing. Just look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now we've made the background whiter, we made the picture sharper, we fixed the fadeness of the shirt, and we added more colors so that the colored parts of the photo would pop. And that's that about that. What you do is to save. You tap on export down here, export, and then you save. There you have it. Beautifully edited. So there you have it. I'm sure you're feeling like you're pro right now, that you know how to edit after watching that tutorial. I would like for you to show me what you've done. Maybe tag me, send it to me on TikTok, on Instagram. I'll put the links in the description below on how you can reach me, or you can email it to me. I mean, take pictures of yours, show it to me, the unedited, the edited. I would really, really love to see them. So in the case I have some corrections to give you, you know. So thank you for watching, and please let me know in the comments if you have any questions and any suggestions on what my next videos could be. Alright, please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Let all this talking not be for nothing. Alright, bye!